Hello everyone, my name is Jason Holden-Jones and this is round 3 of the 2090.2 South African simGT series at Donington. And I'm joined in the commentary booth by Daniel Haynes. Welcome, Daniel.
Hi Jason, good to be back. Feels like it's been quite a while, to be honest. Was it 5 weeks since the last race?
It's been quite a break for the simGT series, of course, yeah. And looking forward to a good race once again this evening. And
5 weeks practice, these guys are going to be quick tonight, I think.
Yeah, let's take it as that. And this is Marcus Stan, who's beaten everybody at the pit box. In fact, it was Edwin Govender, but Stan got past him on the outlap. And off we go in the Ghostworks Audi this evening. Let's see what Marcus Stan could do this evening. Pretty quick in the practice sessions.
Oh, you've seen some times already over the weekend, have you, that they've logged online?
Yeah, I've had a look, yeah. And I've got...
Any favourites for pole, apart from the obvious?
Oh, it's Judd Watt's looking very quick, and so is Peter Geldenes. Geldenes looking very strong in that final practice as well. I think he's third quickest. But yeah, it looks like Clark has once again got the edge on everybody else.
Okay, alright, so he's not lost any speed. I went back through the last time we went here, which was the 2018.2 season, and pole position was a 1:26.3. So that's the time to beat this time round. And that was Rousseau with a 1:26.301. Yeah. And then it was close between Langeveld and Jadwatt for second, 1:26.5. So I think they've improved a bit from then, haven't they, by the looks of it? Because we've already had a 1:26.5 instantly, first lap in.
Yeah, there we go. So we've had some great racing here over the years at Donington. And let's see what happens this evening. But as Daniel has mentioned, Jim Clark there on provisional pole position, 2/10 ahead of Leandre Sparks, who now pops up into second. Great opening run there by Leandre. And then Devon Nishan now in third position, the 26.817. So very tight at the top. Judd Watt, of course, a favourite, 26.950. Expect him to go quicker as the session progresses. And then we got Tynick and Sterner. Sterner was very quick in the last simGP series round. Finished second behind teammate Clark. So Eco dominating that race in the GP series at Monza.
Yeah, I wasn't upset to miss that one while I was away on holiday. They definitely seemed like they had enough speed there to keep us covered.
Definitely capitalised there at Monza, Daniel, without you there.
Obviously, yeah, they had an easy race.
Yeah.
So last time out, we only had over 2 divisions. We only had 4 guys in the 1:26s, and we were in less than 5 minutes in, and half the field are in there already. So definitely, and Clark's just gone 1:25.8. Unbelievable time.
Yeah. There's that feared 117 BMW. Shows some true pace there, 25.875. Sort of hanging around sort of 6th, 7th quickest in the final practice there, but perhaps is running a race setup where everyone had started qualifying practice.
Coincidentally, I looked up the track record for a GT3 at Donington. It's also set in a Z4 GT3. In real life, I'm talking, not sim. And it was a 1:27.7.
Okay.
So there was a note next to it saying cold temperatures. So I think that's the advantage we got with the sim. It's not cold temperatures. Last time Donington was 25 degrees, was probably in the 70s. Yeah. So,
well, we need to throw some of these guys in a real BMW Z4 GT3 at Donington and see what happens.
Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. They're 2 seconds quicker already. So something's wrong. I think the temperature, maybe.
Yes, Geldenes, who I mentioned, was very impressive in their final practice. Currently in 4th position in the Lamborghini. Great to see.
Yeah, when Peter, he hooks that that Lamborghini hooked up. He did the same last season at Road America. It's something unbelievably quick, and it seems like he's got the setup nailed here as well.
Yeah, so definitely Peter one to look out for this evening. Chris Heineke is looking very strong this evening. Currently 2nd fastest, the 26.517. So time to find against Clark, but definitely the best of the rest at the moment. And a bit quicker than teammate or assisted teammate Bashir Judd Watt, 10th quicker than him. Looking very impressive is Heineke. Another name In the top six is Alfie van Sale in the Black Widow Audi. Looking good, there's Alfie.
Yeah, some great speed, isn't it? 126.7 is right up there. It's very, very tight between second onwards. Obviously, Clark's might have already got pole position nailed, but the rest of the places, there's only a few tenths between. From second all the way down to 8th place, there's only 2 tenths.
Yeah, the time's incredibly quick, Daniel. I mean, it's not even 2 seconds separating the field.
Yeah. Competitive as always in GT3. Be interesting to. I think there'll be a bit of a scrap here at Donington. There usually is. It's that the circuit that sort of encourages a tight fight. There's not too many places you can get away with all these fast corners at the start and then hairpins at the end. Good mixture of corners throughout the lap. So it's an interesting lap. You've got to have a technique. You can't get a setup that covers everything perfectly. So you've got to have a few compromises here and there.
Heineke is going to cross the line, sort of, pretty much dead on with his fastest lap so far.
Now, I find with Donington, you get so engrossed in that first half of the lap with all those corners where you've got to carry as much speed as possible. So easy to then completely mess it up just on the last 2 hairpins, which on paper should be so easy. But by the time you get there, you see the delta up. You can lose a lot of time if you get those last 2 hairpin corners incorrect.
Yeah, Donington sort of, it sort of punishes you more for overdriving the car. I found you sort of need to sort of suggest the corner more to the car than actually turn in.
Yeah, I think that's
the old chicane. Yeah.
And yeah, with Redgate, the hairpin, McLean's, you're used to trying to go in there with as much speed as possible. And then if you try and do the same with the last 2 hairpins, yeah, like you said, you overdrive the car, scrub off so much speed, and that's when you lose the time. So there's different technique for those corners.
Now watching Bashir Jadwat in the updated ATK liveried Audi. And looking to first get on top of Chris Heineke in second, and then see if we can get anywhere near Jim Clark.
It's just coming up to a bit of traffic, which is obviously going to be a problem on this smaller circuit, trying to keep a clean lap in qualifying, but it looks like he managed to negotiate that quite well. 10th up so far on his previous best. On a great chicane, gained 2 tenths there.
3 tenths, on his way to 4 tenths.
This is the hairpins we're talking about. Can he keep that delta up? He lost a 10th on the first one.
The Kotzen now
onto
up
the finish
to
straight.
4th position suddenly. And Langeveld now up to 7th. Jadwat will go second.
Yeah, he lost a couple of tenths in those last 2 corners, but yeah, still a great lap at 126.3.
Let's see what Heineke is up to. He's on a fly, but he's almost 2 tenths slower. Losing time, unfortunately. Gaining. Leandro Sparks has left the server. Hopefully we get him back before race starts. Jim Clark is not going faster either. Jadwat is in the pits. What's Hodgson doing? Hodgson is up almost 2 tenths. Challenging Heineke for their 3rd spot now. Langeveld now up into 4th for Redline Racing. It's the 10th of Heineke there. So Hodgson now battling Langeveld and Heineke for 3rd.
So Hodgson's up on his delta as well, but he lost so much time on that corner. 2 tenths, good exit, gains a bit back. Very quick into the entry, but slow on the exits. Very difficult, but he's going to be a 10th
You want
up.
to do the opposite there, actually.
Yeah, exactly that. You're right.
Christopher Langeveld now in the Mercedes-Benz Red Line Racing entry. He's on an outlap. He's preparing the car for his last couple of runs. Just over 3 minutes remaining in this 15-minute session.
can imagine quite a difficult track for layout for the Mercedes, being such a big car. Although I think Devon said that he felt that it was actually okay around Donington. On paper, you would have thought that it wouldn't be up there with the likes of Road America as a good track for that car.
I would think perhaps its acceleration ability out of the slow corners would help it, out of the tight hairpins. But getting the car turned around in the hairpins, I think, is...
it's rotation into the hairpins that struggles, yeah.
Marcus Steyn now out of nowhere up into third position for Ghostworks. 26.476. Just a 10th behind Judd Watt. Here comes Langeveld. Let's see what he can do now.
It's great improvement by Steyn, because his last best last time we were here was a 127 dead. So he's gained almost 6/10 from the last time we raced here.
Langeveld now up at 10th, challenging Heineke and staying there for 3rd and 4th. And everybody on the soft tyre is what you would expect in qualifying.
I haven't heard any rumblings of race tyres being anything but mediums, but we'll see. Apparently the softs seem to go off a little bit too quick to make them viable unless you were going to do a two-stop.
Langeveld 2/10. Oh, I lost a bit of time through there. I think he's got to do what it takes to take Heineke's 4th position, but can he challenge Steyn for 3rd? It's going to be very tight. Exit. Yes, he can. Just a 10th behind Judd Watt in 2nd, in fact.
0.02 of a second.
Steyn responds immediately, goes 4th. It's just, 0.02 of a second behind Langeveld. It's a great contest, yeah. And Marcus Steyn looking to go quicker as well.
Shout out for the brother Haynes. I know he's got quicker time at 26.9. He's obviously struggling to get a lap in.
I expect Timothy to fight his way forward during the race, I would expect.
You don't want to be trying to gain too many places, though, do you? So qualifying is quite important, especially on a tight track like this.
Oh, Steyn just throwing it away. Is he going to continue? Oh, very aggressive. No, he's abandoned that lap. Heineke now back to 3rd. 26.431. So Heineke looking particularly strong here at Donington. Who else is on a run? Langeveld is not going to make another run, unfortunately. He stands in the pits. Give me just flipping through the cars. Let's just see who's doing what. It's Turkey Swanepoel looking for a 10th. He's currently in 12th position for Redline Racing. He's got one of the sister cars behind him too. So Swanepoel is looking to challenge Leandro Sparks for 11th. And Lisha for 10th. So tight there. Top 10 or for 10th and down.
Yeah, a couple of tenths and you jump so many places. Time to throw everything. If you've got a banker in already, you brake later than you ever thought you ever could. Often it doesn't work, but you never know.
Yeah.
Close your eyes and count half a second.
Yeah, you got Swanepoel looking for time. Half a second, wow, but he can't get it stopped.
Yeah, there's the break half a second later we're talking about. Yeah.
And I think a Sparks diving to the pits too, and I think that's qualifying done and dusted. Anyone else in the run? No. So Clark will start from pole position, ahead of Bashir, Judd Watt, Chris Heineke in 3rd position. We're going to take a short break. Don't go away. Hello everyone and welcome back to Donington for round 3 of the 2019.2 South African simGT series. And of course it is Jim Clark who will start from pole position. He's leading the field now for the formation lap. And of course we've got Bashir Jadwat from second position for Ghostworks Racing.
Yeah, you feel if Jadwat's going to make a move, it's got to be on lap 1, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's going to get a good run out of that last corner and challenge Clark under braking into turn 1.
Obviously, Clark's got the big advantage of knowing when he's going to go, but sometimes you can anticipate with him and get a run into that first corner. It is a possibility.
I think Jadwat will be thinking, where would I get the race started and just go for it, and perhaps it'll match up with what Clark does.
Yeah, that would be the hope. I think if he can send it on the inside of turn 1, we could have an interesting race. Let's all hope he can do it.
Let's just have a look at the Drivers' Championship standings. So at the moment is Jim Clark, who's won the first 2 rounds at Road Atlanta and at Red Bull Ring, and he leads the championship by just 3 points ahead of Bashir Jadwat. Of course, the worst round falling away, and which makes the difference there. And we have Christopher Langefeld in third, just 5 points behind the leader. And in the Teams Championship is Rebel Ghostworks, Timothy Haynes and Marcus Steyn, tied for the lead with Christopher Langefeld and Devon Nisha. So Ghostworks and Valkyrie, Redline Valkyrie at the top. And just 1 point behind them is Squadra Ghostworks, Bashir Jadwat and Mark Hennebury. But back to the action this evening, and Jim Clark has got the field ready for the start of this race. And as he exits this corner, the race will start. So off he goes. And Jadwat's right with him there, Daniel. Let's see what happens into turn 1 now. Can he get the slipstream? It's a short straight
Just
over.
where it needs to be.
Yeah. No, he can't. But can that Audi get its tyres warmed up a bit quicker? It does seem that way. Jadwat forcing the issue up the inside. Clark shuts the door.
I think Jadwat knows that if he's going to make a move, it really needs to be the first lap. So
yeah,
he's really going to be trying hard this lap.
Jadwat. Oh, someone off there. It's Langefeld. Oh, he saves it. And he just loses 1 position out of all that.
Very well held there.
Yeah.
He was completely sideways at one point.
That was incredible. So Steyn sneaks through into 4th position, but back to the front now. And Clark's starting to edge away already. Jadwat just not able to force an error there from Clark. But he's still with him. Go look down further down the field. Devon Nisha now challenging Alfie van Zyl for 9th position. Look at the power of the Mercedes-Benz trying to come through. But Van Zyl survives the corner. But here comes the Merc now. Good run out of the chicane.
These guys are pushing track limits, and put your wheels on the grass, you're going to lose a lot of time. Lisha's going to get this up the inside.
He's got him. Oh, and someone's turned around. It's Holden-Jones. The Lamborghini pointing in the wrong direction. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, there's plenty of action here.
Yeah, they have few taps on the back and sending people around. Lisha also spun round, didn't he?
Damage to the Lamborghini. So Holden-Jones a bit worse for there. Where unfortunately he stays out. He does not pit. But Clark is moving away now. That's half a second back to Jadwat. And Heineke has got Steyn for company. Let's see what Ghostworks does about that. Steyn makes an error.
I think these guys, they move onto the medium tyres. They're used to going into that corner at such speed. We've seen a few cars just run wide onto the grass there. Not quite as much grip on the mediums as the low-fueled softs.
Unfortunately, Daniel, brother Timothy's had a spin, and he's down to 21st and last. Let's see how he can fight his way back.
He was one of the big winners in the accident. He was up to 10th.
Yeah, Nick Hodgson too, right down in 18th position.
So you've got a lot of drivers completely out of position now, right at the back of the field.
Yeah. So
Jadwat's managed to stay within a second of Clark after 3 laps, so he's definitely keeping the pressure on.
Steyn under pressure from Langefeld. And Stan putting pressure on Heineke too.
We've got a couple of drivers to look out for in Leslie Oliphant and Lawrence Sterner. 2 drivers on the soft tyres. We've got 4 in total on the softs. We've also got Sparks on the softs. Both Sparks are on the softs. So those 4 drivers will be looking to jump places. Certainly it's worked out already for Oliphant and Stern. They've already gained places on the softs. Just see how far those can go though.
Oh, and the 2 red line cars coming together. Swan a little bit naughty on the track rejoin there, making contact with the other red line racing McLaren. So that's cost red line.
I dare to say an inquiry won't be put in place if it's a teammate, but you never know.
I wouldn't be surprised, no. So Sparks gets going once again after that contact with his teammates. And here comes Timothy Haynes trying to take advantage of that, and he does so. So Timothy Haynes now up into 19th position. Let's go look at the Jonathan Benz Quake Clarson's battle. 2 Ghostworks Audis running together.
He's managed to keep himself clean because he was near the back of the field and right up into 9th place now, so he's gained a lot of places.
Yeah.
Keep a clean sheet in the first few laps and just watch everyone crash around you. It's often a good strategy of mine in iRacing anyway. I'm not quick enough to be at the front.
Keep your head down and keep away
Start
from
the pits and just avoid everyone.
So Jim Clark does a 26.732 in race trim. Fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, but I see Sterner was also in the 26s. Was that right? He went over across the line with a 26.9, but I think it was an invalidated lap. So it's not showing on the fastest lap board. But on the softs, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would. We also got the big Nissan R35 of Matthew Boy, currently in 14th position, under pressure now from the nimble BMW of Nick Hodgson.
Going to be hard to overtake on the straights, though, isn't it, for Nick? That Nissan is a powerhouse.
It's going to break away to the Stan Langenfeld battle. Langenfeld's got a good run on Stan. Up the inside he goes. Can Stan come back at him? Audi a bit better on exit. He's got the inside line too. What is Langenfeld going to do? Langenfeld holds the racing line. Doesn't try and go around him. That's brave. Use the grunt of that V8 Mercedes-Benz. And look at that. Langenfeld has claimed that racing line back now. He's got the inside line for the following corner. So the car is showing their strengths and weaknesses there. Whoa, and there's a weakness from the Mercedes-Benz. Can't get it turned. The Audi can. But the Mercedes-Benz will come back at him now. And Stan trying to cover the inside line, but the Mercedes-Benz is just a bit too strong.
We're seeing the differences between these 2 cars right here, aren't we?
Oh, a bit of hip and shoulder there from Langenfeld. Stan survives. Oh, Langenfeld doing a great job there, keeping Stan out of it. And these 2 fighting is bringing Leslie Oliphant into the mix in 6th position. There's the McLaren for Valente Racing.
Yeah, again on the soft tyres, he's going to be running out of rubber. Probably, I've been told, around a lap 15 to 18. So unless he's going for a 2-stop strategy, if he's going to stay on the softs, I've been told by people that have done race runs that after about 18 laps, those softs are quite finished. Certainly in the Audi. Might not necessarily be the case for the McLaren.
Yeah, I think it would be worse for the McLaren. So let's see how.
I would have said so as well. Yeah. So if he's pushing for a 2-stop, we're looking 20 laps a stint. It's going to be tricky. Might be a mixed strategy.
Oh, Clark almost into the back of Langenfeld does very well. And those cars fighting it out is allowing Heineke to get away there in 3rd position.
Yeah, great pace from Heineke here in Donington.
Let's get back to the Nissan now. Matthew Boy trying to catch up to Devon Nisha, then 15th position. Hugo de Vet behind then the Audi.
There's quite a few battles. Oliphant's catching Stain quick on his tyres. He's got that down to 4/10, but there's plenty of battles throughout the grid. Two tenths now, Oliphant.
What's happened? Oliphant's had a spin there, Daniel.
Yeah, he's made a mistake on the chicane, hasn't he?
Yeah. So that's cost him a position to Lawrence Sterner there in 6th position.
Bit of damage on the front of that. Maybe he ran into the back. I didn't quite catch that.
Could be.
I think it's very dangerous to go into an overtake into the chicane. It's much better to try and get a good exit out of it and then get a run into that hairpin corner. If you can get the inside of the hairpin, that's I found the safest overtake spot on the whole track.
And Oliphant, they're just putting a lap on, who was that? I think it was Dirkie Swanepoel, yes it was. And yeah, the other car behind him is Leandro Sparks, and the other red line McLaren.
So that's for position.
Benz and Klaassen still together. These two starting the race further back, but as Daniel mentioned earlier on, doing well and in the top 10. Klaassen's going to run on Benz now. Let's see what happens.
You've got to be careful overtaking the boss though, haven't you?
Yeah. Might unbalance the team dynamic there at Ghostworks.
You find yourself with a very horrible coloured car the following season.
Yeah.
It's doing your skins for you. But it's a demonstration that, qualifying pace is not everything. You can certainly make up a lot of places in a 90-minute race with consistency and keeping yourself clean. You've got 2 clean Audis with no damage on. Touch wood.
On board with Klaassen's now. In-car shot. And Klaassen's really working over Jonathan Benz. He once passed him. These two, of course, costing each other time, but there's no team orders at Ghostworks. I'm constantly reassured. It certainly
doesn't appear to be, yeah. I think, he's holding Klaassen's back a bit, I think, isn't he?
So Clark really starting to get away from Jaro at the front. That gap up to almost 4 seconds now.
Yeah, we see that relentless consistency from Clark. Race in, race out, don't we? Doesn't make many mistakes.
And Matthew Boy has been passed by Hugo de Vet, so the Audi gets one up on the Nissan. Not a track for the Nissan, I don't think. Just can't get around the corners. Got the pace on the long straight though. Let's see if Boy can go back at him now. Should have the punch to do it.
If you can get a good exit, this is where he... Like I said though, sometimes it's worth holding onto the back and then just getting a good exit out of the chicane.
Yeah, that Audi's still got what it needs. What's happened here? Alpha Fancel is right down, so is Govender. I wonder if those two came together. And Hudson down to 13th, I think, too.
The local panel beaters are going to have their work cut out of them, because every car I'm looking at is looking a tad second hand. Donington tends to do that. It's good to watch. Of course, it's strange because you've got quite a bit of elevation change at Donington, which is what makes it such a good track. But you got right next door West Midlands Airport, haven't you? Which is as flat as you could ever imagine.
Okay.
So at the top of McLean's, just over the fence, you got a runway, and then West Midlands Airport.
Okay, well.
So the planes fly straight over the top of the track.
Mistake by Lesher. Alfie Fancel trying to find a gap, but Lesher does not give him one. Someone's off. Who said it's a Benz? Yeah. Oh, did him and Koe Klaassen's come together? And Made for an
Look out for a pink
uncomfortable
car next year.
team debrief afterwards.
It's a good job he's in America. Yeah, I think maybe that was fighting for no reason there.
So Langefeld has caught up to Heineke. This is the battle of the third position.
We got consistent pressure from Sterner on Stain, whose soft tyres are going to only have a few more laps of top speed in them, I would have thought. Oliphant's dropped back a little bit after... Oh, someone's off.
That's one of the red line McLarens.
Is it Swanepoel, is it?
Could be. I think Swanepoel's got going. Who was that now? Oh, and Sterner's got Stain for 5th position.
Stain must have made a mistake, I think, because there was a good 6/10 before.
In fact,
So Sterner's on a... I'm pretty sure Oliphant and Sterner, we could be seeing them pitting quite early and possibly on a 2-stopper. So they want to really put a shift in to keep those positions.
they really need to keep the momentum up.
Yeah, if that is the case, you've got a whole pit stop extra to find.
We've got an Audi pointing in the wrong direction. And that's Jacques Buerta in 17th now 18th position. Unfortunately, back with Nick Hodgson now in the Point Black Racing BMW in 11th position, trying to get on top of Edrin Govender there for 10th. Go back to race to the Jim Clark, leading by 5 seconds ahead of Bashir Jadwan. Jadwan's off.
Yeah, he's
catching
pushing
that in
hard.
the background.
Langevelt's right on the back of Heineke now. He's managed to close that gap only to 4/10. Mercedes is looking quite strong here, has to be said.
Just take note of Langevelt's lap time this time around and compare it to what's happening at the front. Just to get an idea of how quick that red line Mercedes-Benz is right now.
He set a personal best so far of a 1:27.2,
Okay.
which is half a second quicker than Heineke. So that's how he's managed to close the gap.
Jacques Buerta into the pits now. I think that's to repair damage.
So Heineke 1:27.6 and a 1:27.5. So another 10th knocked off there. Obviously he's right up the tail now, so it's going to be holding him back. But he's definitely got the speed for an overtake.
It's a mistake there. Here goes Langeveld. He sees the
Squeezing
gap.
it on the inside.
Super on the outside. Oh, that Audi's come across. Oh, contact. Can he get it stopped? Just. He
Yeah,
survives.
that was using all the track and then a little bit more really there.
It's like that Audi just came across the circuit, but I think Heineke, he clipped the inside curb and the car just started understeering. And that's what saw Langeveld scrambling to get the car stopped in time for the next corner. Fortunately, we've had our first retirement of the evening. Jacques Buerta has...
Oh, shame. We saw him spin. Maybe he had just a bit too much damage.
Yeah.
So Langevelt's dropped back now, obviously, and he's got to try and claw that time again to have another attempt. Probably not in that section, I wouldn't have thought, with that car. It's those two straights, the S's and the hairpins, where the AMG is going to be strongest. That Audi's always going to be quick through the Craner curves and the old hairpin.
Oh, Henry Reid's commenting there, naughty, and Ryan Hill said that could have ended a lot worse. Yes, it could have. I'm actually very surprised that Langeveld got that car stopped in time.
Yeah, I think his visor's going to be misted up a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although we've seen he make good rally. He should enter the rally sim race rally dirt rally 2 championships. Okay. He's been sideways in that AMG quite a few times and kept it pointing in the right direction. He might have a hidden talent there he hasn't really looked at yet.
From one redline AMG to the next, this is Devin Lisher.
That's got some serious damage to the front.
Yeah, and he's actually found his way past Adrian Govender and after Nick Hodgson in 10th position.
So he went right to the back after his spin. He didn't choose to pit for damage, and he has managed to claw his way back to the midfield. So he'll probably repair that damage when he changes his tyres. And then, notice a little bit of a difference in his second stint.
Alfie van Zyl now coming on attack from Hugo de Wit. This is Black Widow Racing leading Redline Racing. But Van Zyl with a much better exit out of that last corner pulls out the gap. And Hodgson's got Lisher. That move coming just in the background.
Lisher also under pressure from Govender behind. So everyone on the soft tyres have made serious gains. Stern Oliphant and Claessen's also on soft, and Sparks. So they've jumped the field in 15 laps. It's just whether they can hold on to those tyres for any longer.
BMW just a bit stronger that last half a lap or so. Pulls away from Lisher. And Lisher
you're waiting for Lisher to gain time on those straights, weren't you? And he didn't at all. So possibly damage holding him back.
De Wit spot that move of Van Zyl. Oh, and Van Zyl's clipped the inside line and his roundy goes outside. A bit of dirt there, caught the Audi out. And he's going to fall back. Timothy Haynes sneaks by, takes advantage of that error. Up to 14th goes Timothy.
He's very closely followed by Boy. He's been catching him on the last couple of laps.
Suddenly Boy finds Van Zyl between him and his target.
That's going to hold him up a bit. Van Zyl's lost it again. Oh, he's obviously cooked his tyres.
Oh, Van Zyl very generous there, letting Benz through.
I think he's been pushing his tyres from the spin, and sometimes it just takes half a lap. Nothing you can do about it. So Langeveld slowly crept back up to Heineken now. He dropped away to a second and a half after the incident last time. It's taken him quite a few laps to get back there. He's going to be very wary of where he chooses to overtake, I think. Chris is making that Audi 20 foot wide.
Govinder's heading off. Oh, he's pointing in the wrong direction. Down to 17th he goes. It could be 18th as Calvin Ace will come through now in the Lamborghini. Just misses him.
Having an amazing amount of off-track spins for a Division 1 race. More than we've seen in the first 2 rounds, certainly.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, who's that? Is that
Another,
Benz?
another car off, as we say, yeah.
Spence.
Very unusual. The times are so high and they're pushing so hard. You put a couple of wheels onto the grass and that's it, you're off.
So look at our race leader once again, Jim Clark, with the clean-looking BMW Z4 GT3.
Yeah, he hasn't had any troubles, has he really? He's kept it on the tarmac the entire time and he's managed to build himself an 11-second gap. So business as usual for Jim Clark, and very impressive driving, it has to be said, as it is every time we see him out.
Yeah, and so far remaining unbeaten this season in the simGT series.
I do believe I'm the only other driver this season to win a race.
Yeah.
The fact that Jim Clark wasn't in it probably.
No, don't say that. Daniel, just claim it. Just quietly claim it.
I'm secretly hoping he wins all the others. I can take that record to the bank.
There we go.
But yeah, you've got to admire the consistency. It takes incredible skill over 90 minutes, every race, different circuits, to keep that consistency up and the speed. We all have tracks we're quicker at, but Jim's not shown a weak hand yet.
The only time we've seen him sort of being challenged was in the last simGP series at Monza, with Sterner was right with him for most of the race.
Oh, okay. Oh, I missed that race.
Yeah, so. Almost had sort of 1 or 2 goes at him, but other than that, we haven't really had a challenge this season.
Yeah, he's been incredibly strong. I seem to remember a couple of seasons back we had a very good challenge at Road America. So that's next round, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
So that could very well, although he was in the Ferrari at the time, so he's definitely got that Z4 nailed. Yeah. Might be a bit easier to drive in the 488. So we're lap 20. If the soft tyre drivers are thinking of doing a 2-stop strategy, this is when we'd expect to see them in. I'd be amazed if they can push the softs for 30 laps. They'd be losing a lot of time towards the end of that stint. I mean, 20 laps in is already further than we thought they could go.
I wonder if they'll come in and put the medium tyre on and just go to the end.
Yeah, that may be a split strategy. That might get a fast. They've gained the places in the first stint and then hold them in the second. That might very well be a good strategy.
And defend sort of towards the end.
Certainly the lap. I'm looking at Sterner was the only other driver in the 126, 126.9, and he was a good second off that in that last lap. So he's definitely losing time on those softs.
So Oliver Fun just putting a lap on Steven Sparks.
Very nicely getting out of the way on the grass. So obviously we've got the Division 2 and 3 races on Wednesday. Strong field for that as well, I imagine. It will be 2 full divisions.
I think so. It's certainly looking that way. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be great.
Some evenings to practice still. I think there's practice going on right now for those 2 races. hopefully I'll have some time to race as well. Let's see how we go this week.
It's always good for you guys, though, to watch the Division 1 race, see what works, what doesn't work.
Absolutely, yeah.
What we've learnt so far is keep it on the tarmac, guys, and you'll gain places.
Yeah.
Expect a few off tracks. Yeah, so we see Stain coming back at Sterner now. Those tyres, I reckon, are going to start trading places as what's the best one to be on track. So see whether he can keep his position. He pulled a gap, but those softs must be feeling very worn right now.
Yeah, look at how Stain can just catch up to him through that last corner.
This is the difficulty. Sometimes you go with a soft tyre, you push it. If you push it a little bit too far, one mistake, and all that time you've gained, you've lost. So it'll be interesting to see how far they can push them.
Yeah, here comes Sterner. Now, what tyre does he go for?
Yeah, will he split it or will he go for a 2-stop? Be interesting. Not quite sure when this app updates. Still showing softs now. Does it do it when he leaves the pit?
He's gone to the medium tyre. Yeah, he's gone for the split strategy.
Okay.
No, he hasn't. No, it's wait, so the app's still updating.
Yeah, mine says medium.
Is it? Gone back to soft for me for some reason.
Oh, really? Mine's still saying medium.
Okay.
Yeah, still showing him on medium. So he's going to be doing 39 laps on those.
Yes, he's on the medium tyre. Okay, no, it's updated. Good. Okay, so he was fighting Marcus Stain towards the end of his stint there. So let's see what happens when Stain comes in for his pit stop later.
Yeah, he's out of position now. He's in a bit of traffic, so he'll want to try and pass that on the fresh tyres and really put some quick laps in to try and make this early pit stop work for him. This is going to be a very good demonstration to the Division 2 and 3 guys that a split strategy does it work.
R100 for a mention. I like where this is going.
Well, I might as well make it pay. I'm drinking half a bottle of Ben Morangi here. Someone's got to pay for it.
Krista's not giving up. Is your name Krista? Krista Bortis. Is that right? Something like that. I know my pronunciation's not quite right. But there you go, Krista. I said your name now. There's a 300.
You did it for free. What a cop out.
There's 300 Rand now. I think there's 3 times.
Langeveld he's been behind Heineke for a good few laps at 4/10. So this battle's going on for a fair chunk of this race. Could come down to pit stops and who can jump each other. If I was Langeveld, I'd be tempted to pit early and try and undercut because Heineke's proving a difficult person to want to let you overtake.
You just might do that. Colin gets away from the BMW down the straights, but the BMW will catch up now, will it? No, a mistake there from Sterner.
Certainly using track limits on that chicane, I have to say.
Yeah. Boy, it will prove difficult to pass. This is costing Sterner time.
Yeah, this could be ruining his strategy here. That's the problem with the early stop. You come out in traffic. If there isn't a gap there, you lose time. Yeah, Nissan's not an easy car to pass either.
Oh, mistake there from Boy. Here comes Sterner. Is he got a good drive?
Yes,
gets it.
pushed it wide again.
Oh, then this is going to accelerate away. No, is he? No, here comes the BMW. Oh, we're looking for the inside line and he's got it. Great move. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. Just.
I think Boy knew that he had that position lost. Wise move. So Sterner's the only soft guy to pit so far, lap 25. So unbelievably, Oliphant's kept it on the tarmac 25 laps in. Could be going for one stop. He's definitely dropped back, so he's losing time, but he's keeping it on the track. So that's probably all he needs to do.
Langefahrt on Heineke. Heineke perhaps made a mistake.
Same spot as last time, choosing not to make a move this time and pushed it wide again.
And Krista just asking about 2020. There's no news yet, Krista. It's only October. So.
No, I don't believe it. You must have a full schedule done already.
No, not yet. Stay calm, everyone.
How did the Skippy racing go on the road?
It was a lot of fun, yeah. I did.
I wasn't available last week, so I missed that. But
yeah, it was really fun. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I wish that I put some more practice in myself, but everybody seemed to enjoy it.
Any new faces?
Yeah, I think so.
Good.
And yeah, it went very well. Laguna Seca's not the easiest track, especially for the Skippy.
Yeah, it'll probably take off on the corkscrew, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we've got some airtime, I think. And yeah, good fun all round. A car that I think if you can master, you can drive anything. It's that type of car.
Yeah, and it's slow enough that it gives you a chance to master it. But you're right. It's to go fast. The Skippy on iRacing is really hard to go fast.
And it soon shows you when you're overdriving it as well.
But it's good to see support in that Road to 2020 event that you've got. And new names as well. So I'll be tempted to maybe join these guys in GT3 for the 2020 season.
Yeah. That's definitely the idea. I think the next Road to Season 20.1 races with the BMW M235R Racing. And that also provides some great close racing too. That's a good car to learn with as well.
Yeah, completely different car from the Skippy, but maybe more in tune for GT racing. So I think Chris has got to pit and try and do the undercut here. He's had every time he has a run on Heineke, it's proving very difficult to pass. So I would certainly be looking to come in a couple of laps early. We're thinking sort of obviously lap 30, everyone's going to be piling in. Come in lap 28, 29, try and put a few quick ones. Might be his easiest opportunity. So a few of the guys that were out of position from lap 1, Hodgson and Lisher, they've got themselves back into 8th and 9th place just from consistent driving. We've seen this a couple of times from Nick. Gets himself in a bit of difficulty at the start, but the speed's there to get back towards the end. He's probably longing for a clean start.
I think Nick's finding himself exactly where the sort of field concertina's up on the first lap and he tends to be in the middle of it.
Yeah, you make a mistake on the first lap, you lose so many places there, don't you? You make a mistake 60 minutes in and sometimes you don't lose anything. Just really got to concentrate on those first sort of 5 laps, not make a mistake. I mean, maybe you don't gain a place, but don't lose any.
And that was Hodgson actually getting past Sparks. I thought it was one of the red line cars towards the back of the field, but it was Leandre Sparks. So Hodgson slipping by there into 7th position. And Hodgson now 15 seconds behind Nezio Oliphant in 6th position.
who is still keeping his soft-tyred Mercedes pointing forwards. I'm quite impressed with that. The gap's growing though, so he's not particularly putting in quick laps anymore. But I think it did its task in the start of the race. Yeah, 29.3. It's lost major time. I mean, he's losing a couple of seconds a lap now.
Yeah, he should come in now and do what Sterner did, I think.
Yeah, I think he might have made a bit of a mistake in pushing. I think he's going to come in and do softs again.
I think so.
Yeah. And I think the mixed strategy might have been the answer, because if you're losing 2-3 seconds a lap, he'll obviously be losing the same time at the end of his second stint as well. He's still got 2 or 3 laps to go before halfway.
Oh, moment there, Oliphant hangs on to it. A bit of a twitch there from the rear of McLaren.
So Sterner's in clean air now, isn't he? He's got a 7 and 8 second gap to Haynes. He got past Boy. It did take him quite a few laps to pull that move, though. So it's just how much time he lost behind Boy. And we're looking to see whether he stays ahead of Stain at the pit stop change, aren't we?
Yeah.
That was the battle. So whether the mixed strategies worked on the undercut. I think Langeveld wants to be pitting in the end of this lap, really. I think he might regret it if he doesn't.
I wonder if Heineken's going to be watching what Langeveld does and trying to sort of get in front of him into the pits.
It's Formula 1 style, isn't it? If you had radio, it'd be like, box, do whatever the other guy doesn't do.
Send your mechanics into the pit lane and try and dummy a pit stop.
Oh, it'd be brilliant. I'm looking forward to sim racing in 2025 where we could have that added to the game.
Like our pit crew with VR glasses on and doing the pit stop for you.
I mean, yeah, exactly that. I mean, if Langeveld's happy with his tyres, he might be thinking, well, I'm going to pit 2 laps later if he's got the fuel.
Yeah, do the undercut.
Either way, but the undercut's got to be easier.
I don't think the undercut will work because Heineken's got the sort of matching his pace now. With fresher tyres, I think he'll be quicker, of course.
Yeah.
So he should come in now, Langeveld. That's what he should do, Dan. I think that's what you're suggesting, yeah.
You watch, they'll both come in now on this lap.
I think Heineken's going to try and do what Langeveld does to stay in front of him.
There'll be a lot of weaving at the pit entrance.
Maybe let's see what happens. Langeveld should, just dive in there, do a dummy and dive in.
Yeah, he'd be missing a trick if he doesn't. Because the next lap's when
No, he doesn't.
Lap 31, people are going to be piling in, aren't they? It's going to be busy.
Out comes Adrian Govender. He's done in 18th position in the Audi.
So Oliphant did a 28.3, so he obviously just had a really bad lap previously to be a 29.3. So he's only a second slower on the softs. They're both going to come in at the same time.
Someone's off. Who's that? Oh, it's Holden-Jones off again.
That's parked.
It's a big pity for Holden-Jones. He's showing such great pace in practice.
Yeah, he did incredibly well in qualifying. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
Second DNF for the evening. De Wit now into the pits from 14th. Langeveld got a run on Heineken. I think he might have. Heineken's got the line. Will he go around him? We did see this from Langeveld before.
In the cutback, maybe? No.
Audi's just too good through there.
Defensive driving for Heineken. I mean, that thing's wider than it is long.
Oh, there's a dove! Oh, he won't be able to get it stopped though. No.
He's getting a bit desperate now. Yeah, definitely.
Oh, here comes Heineken.
Wow.
Oh, Langeveld. Right. I'm not sure if this is the right strategy, but let's see.
Langeveld's got to push. Really, really push.
Unless he feels he's got so much pace in hand that the overcut will work, but
he had half a second on him when he was closing the gap. There was a good half second he had on him.
Yeah, and in comes Stain now, so let's see where Stern meets him.
Oliphant's pitted on his softs. I'm pretty sure he's going to stay on the softs. He did well to get those 31 laps. Really, really well.
Where's Sterner? Sterner's rounding the last corner. Oh, Sten's easily got him. So I think, Daniel, that time behind Boy that Sterner had really cost him.
Yeah.
And
there's too many laps behind Boy fighting.
Stenner's laughing. He's 4 seconds ahead of Sterner. And I think that's...
Obviously, he's going to be quite heavy on fuel as well. He had 40 laps of fuel instead of the 30. Yeah. So now he's got to gain 3.5 seconds, but they're on same tyres this time, so it won't be as easy to pass as last time.
But Sterner's got Oliphant, so he did pass him during that pits phase. Oliphant's gone one back behind Sterner.
Oliphant stayed on the sauce, so he's going to be immensely quick for 15 laps, 20 laps, and then limp home for the last 10. So he's going to try and do the same as what he did in the first stint. Chad ran the pits.
Yeah, he's in the pits now for his stop. Langefeld, of course, gone to second now. He's yet to do a pit stop.
He's trying the overcut, isn't he? He's fueled for an extra couple of laps. See, the advantage he's got as opposed to we saw Sterner is he's not got any traffic, Langeveld. He can just really get his head down, really concentrate, quality laps. Bang, bang, get in there. He's only got to gain a second and he's got the place.
In comes Hodgson and Lisha too. Comes our race leader, Jim Clark.
He stopped for an ice cream whilst they fill up. Raikkonen in style.
Matthew Boy now leaving the pits in 15th position. Here comes Langefeld finally. I doubt Langefeld's done enough just to find himself ahead of Heineke.
Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. This is a real battle.
Yes, Heineke.
It's going to be close.
Needs to go now, Langefeld. No, surely Heineke's going to pass him easily. Off he goes.
He's going. This is going to be close. This is going to be very close.
Very close.
This is going to be contact into turn one.
Oh no, Heineke easily through. Good stuff. Well, Langefeld's chosen the difficult way, I think.
Yeah, he made the wrong choice, didn't he? He should have pitted at sort of lap 28, knuckled it for 2 laps. It was always going to be tough, fresh tyres versus old, and now he's going to have another 30 laps of staring at the back of an Audi.
Yeah, and this is just so confident in his raw pace that he can get past Heineke. It could also be.
Yeah, I'd be rapidly losing confidence, to be honest. He's had a few goes already. He might be thinking Chris will eventually make a mistake under pressure. It's much easier to follow and chase than it is to be the one being chased, I have to say.
Sure.
So it's calmed down a little bit from the start. People are managing to keep their cars on the track. We've not seen so many trips across the grass in this sort of last 10-15 laps. People are settling down into their pace. This is definitely the battle we're most interested in, Langeveld and Heineke. Big battle on for who can get that last podium position. At the moment, Jadrat and Clark got their positions pretty much nailed. Down the field, I'm just looking. We've got De Witt on Sparks, quite close at half a second gap.
Van Selma from 8th position.
We've had someone in the chat that's asked about cutting over the exit of the pit lane, but that is allowed.
Yeah, that is allowed.
that is the racing line, really. You race on Donington, you will always go into that pit exit. If there is a car in its position, then obviously, you're not going to go straight into him. But yeah, then Heineke did nothing wrong there.
Yeah.
I would have done exactly the same, and every other driver would as well. Langeveld just wasn't close enough.
Yeah, no, that was completely fine. But of course, the cars leaving the pit lane have right of way. So as you said, Daniel, you've
got to make a judgment call.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Langeveld was at the end of that exit, then it would have compromised Heineke's entry. But yeah, he wasn't, unfortunately.
We have Peter Helnes back on the track. That's fantastic to see. And he's currently in 19th position. But great to see him back and showing a lot of character by getting on with it again.
Yes, he must have had technical difficulties, I think, because he was parked in the gravel, wasn't he? That's what's strange.
Yeah. So Craig Claasen's now finds himself in 8th position. I think he has done a pit stop. And ahead of Nick Hodgson.
He's under pressure from Hodgson, who's a second quicker in that lap, so closing rapidly.
Let's go on board with Hodgson.
Nice to see all the cars repaired, though, isn't it? Looking a bit second-hand. Pit stops has done wonders for the stream.
Bit of oversteer there for Hodgson. Try to correct it through mid-corner.
That's such a great corner, but it's so when you nail it, it's perfect. But it's difficult. You go in there a bit quick, or just put a tyre on the outside, and you can lose so much time. It's definitely a corner where you can lose or gain the most amount of time on the lap, I think.
Hodgson just over-driving at the moment, correcting the car through the corner. So he's to work on his inputs, especially on corner entry.
He obviously saw himself gaining a second on the last lap, getting a bit eager.
Yeah, perhaps got excited.
A lot of track cutting on that chicane. We might have to look at that. That chicane's turning into a bit of a straight as the race goes on.
Sort of the rule is that the outside tyres can touch the blue. But,
okay.
So you can go over the curb, but you need to have 2 tyres at least. Yeah, the outside tyre is touching the blue at least.
I think a few of these cars at the pit stop fitted all terrains. Not the softs or mediums.
At the moment, Claasen's leaving Hodgson behind. A gap up to almost 1.5 seconds now. And we've got this battle, of course, raging on. And Heineke leading Langeveld by half a second now. I think
that's a race-long battle. Obviously, you got the pressure of having someone behind, but the more laps you have them behind and you'll manage to hold them off, the more confident you get, and you get to see where they're looking to make a move. Start getting a little bit desperate towards the end. So there's still plenty of time, so Chris just needs to keep the pressure there and wait for the mistake, because it doesn't look like he's going to pass him on pure pace. But there will be an error. He's pushing very, very hard. Matching lap times by 2 100s there.
A mistake there by Langeveld. It's cost him time.
Yeah, he's pushing hard, isn't he? Very, very hard.
Gap up to now almost a second.
So easy to overdrive that AMG anyway. So just looking at the fastest lap time so far, only 3 guys in the 126s. Sterner on the soft tyres has got there, and then obviously our 2 leaders. But it's still very, very impressive race pace comparing to qualifying times. But I think it was all about the soft tyres, wasn't it? Sterner on the mediums. He's not managed to close that gap. He came out of the pit stops 3 seconds behind Stain, and he's still 3 seconds, nearly 4 seconds. So that split strategy didn't work for the undercut because he was held up by Boy in traffic. Otherwise, he may have been okay. Certainly gained him a lot of places in the early phase of the race, though. So definitely these are the two battles on track at the moment. Hodgson and Claessen's, obviously Langeveld and Heineke, that's not really changing. See whether Hodgson's can have a little bit more luck. Claessen's is out of position a little bit as far as his qualifying pace, but he's had exceptional race pace to get himself up into 8th place. I just feel that Hodgson might have him covered on true pace if he can keep a consistent lap in and not overdrive. He's certainly quicker on the fastest lap. His fastest lap of the race is 0.3 quicker than Claessen's. But as we've shown with Langeveld, 0.3 is not enough to make a pass.
Yeah.
There's got to be quite a few ruts on the grass out of the old hairpin because we've seen so many tyres dip into that grass. Be a big trench there by the end of the race, I think. Nick's on a good lap. He's only 0.2 down on his best delta. So see if he can get a good exit out of the S's. Certainly a fast entry, always very quick. You send up the inside here. Claessen's going to cover the inside.
That made the inside and went outside.
Yeah, a little bit of movement there. He's going round the outside, struggling to get it stopped. Yeah, he's lost it.
Cost him a
Very good defensive driving, it has to be said, from Claessen's. He did the right thing there. It's very difficult to try and send one up the outside. You wanted a slow entry and a quick exit, Nick, and that's the opposite of what he got. Not many two more battles. Haynes is coming up behind De Wit and he's closing at 0.6 a lap. So in a couple of laps' time, he might be due to make a pass. Obviously, he was dead last, wasn't he? So he's worked his way up to 13th.
A great comeback there from Timothy.
Shows that it's always worth sticking in it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have a disaster accident and you go right to the back of the field. But yeah, over 90 minutes. Consistency can gain you places again. We've seen that also from Lischer and Hodgson, who suffered similar fate lap 2 or 3 in the race. Bit of a messy start to this Division 1 race, has to be said, but the driving certainly cleaned up as we've gone. I think you get so used to doing hot laps on the softs and pushing so hard. Seem to be pushed quite a bit too hard on the mediums to begin with. Obviously now you're 41 laps in, they're more comfortable with the tyres.
So Claessen's and Hodgson catching up to the battle between Bence and Swanepoel, these two in front of them. And Swanepoel actually got right out of it, being very generous indeed. And he's letting all
He's
the
letting
other cars
every
pass.
car
Perhaps
pass.
he's going to try to follow them through and catch up to Benz that way.
It's a bit of a mistake there from Claessen's gone very wide on the exit of turn 1, but it's not enough for Nick to close the gap.
Oh, both off.
Both wide.
Oh, they're both hanging on to it. Touched a bit quicker through the dirt.
It's almost like Claessen's towing him, isn't it? There's a rope there somewhere. Look closely.
It's quite funny when you're following somebody, they make a mistake and you do the same mistake.
I do it all the time. Yeah, they brake late, you brake late.
Yeah, you're trying to outdo each other and literally outdo each other.
Oh, Oliphant's right up the back of Sterner.
Yeah, that's true. Here we go.
Maybe on him. That gap wasn't there before. So Sterner's lost his pace on the mediums than he was on the softs. He's definitely not anywhere near as quick as he was on his preferred tyres. Oliphant's still on the softs. A car setup that's managed to do 31 tyres on the softs in that McLaren, though, is very, very well done. Yeah, Sterner's struggling on these mediums.
Here comes Oliphant. Looks at the inside. No, decides against it. Good drive now.
I think he's going to have him on the exit of the chicane. Nice. Very good driver from Sterner, covers the inside.
Oliphant up the inside. No.
So quite a few tight gaps. Langevelt's 2/10 now behind Heineke, incredibly tight, and 1/10. Haynes has passed a bit, so we said he was tracking quickly. He's managed to get that.
Yet.
Oh no! Pass and then cut back. Up the inside into the last corner. Can he get it stopped? Yeah, I think that pass was probably inevitable. He was closing at a good speed. Pick your battles. Langeveld is as close as we've seen him to Heineke for quite a while. And 2/10 back.
The Vit's trying to come back? No. Tain's got him covered.
Oh, Langeveld's got it. Oh, he's same position. Keep the inside into the last corner, and he's got him. Can he keep it braked? Yes.
Got him. Wow.
So that's a battle that's gone on for basically 44 laps. Now, don't make a mistake and lose the place back. He's been chasing for so long, he forget what it's like to be chased. This is where we'll see whether Langeveld actually did have a pace advantage as to whether he can pull a gap from Heineke. Give us some indication of what pace advantage you need to actually make a pass here at Donington. Because now we swap with a similar situation with Hodgson, who's definitely struggling to get past Claessen's, even with his sort of 3/10 pace advantage on paper. Oh, that's a mistake.
Oh. Ish into the back of him.
So Nick's lost a place instead of gaining one there. Maybe a little bit impatient.
So we just caught the tail end of that.
Is there another place, or is that a back marker going past? And there's a back marker.
Nisha trying to line up Claessens. He gets under. Gets the cut back.
Great exit, but on the outside, he's going to try and go back on the inside. Good driving there from Claessens. Concentrated on entry and exit. Don't brake too late. Yes, that mistake cost Hodgson about 3 seconds. He's now got to try and get back into a rhythm and close that gap to Lisha.
The vets got past Timothy Haynes side by side now.
This is proving into a bit of an epic battle.
But I can't
pushed him wide. So back where they were, 8 tenths again.
Yeah.
Build back up again. Obviously, wasn't so quick once he made the pass. Yeah, Langevelt's managed to move now, hasn't he? He's got a 1 second gap in 2 laps, 1.1. So he did have the pace advantage, but it took him so long to make the pass.
Just need to see the gap between himself and Jadwat, if that comes on at all.
Yeah, I think it's too big now for him to do anything about it. He certainly won't be pulling half a second a lap or more, will he? Quite lonely races for Clark and Jadwat. They're probably settled in their positions now, looking at deltas. You don't put too much at risk. Doesn't seem to stop Clark wanting to keep building his gap. .27.1 when you've got a 20-second lead is a pretty epic lap time, it has to be said.
Yeah, it's quite a statement.
I don't think he knows how to drive any other way, does he? Yeah, he pulled 3 tenths even on that lap over Jadwat, so he's got him covered every which way. So Claessens was one of the big winners of our mishaps in the first few laps to gain so many places, and now he's really coming under pressure from the people that are fighting their way up through the field that lost all those places. But his defensive driving has been good so far. Hasn't cracked under pressure yet. Haynes is he's losing time to De Wit now, so he got in front, and then when the pass was made, he's struggling to close the gap back. Which is interesting because he was gaining time quite easily before. Langevelt's certainly just consistently moving away at a couple of tenths. So he definitely sort of earned that third position if he can keep it there. I think Heineke will still be quite pleased. Obviously, he'll be disappointed to fight for that position for so long and lose it. But a 4th place and a very good showing in qualifying as well. He's had great pace this evening.
Yeah, he's been going very strong here at Donington.
I think this probably is the sunniest that Donington's ever been, though. Every time I've driven past, go up the M1 to Leicester and drive past this place, it's usually pretty horrific, to be honest.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm surprised there's not more spectators on the course.
This is Matthew Boyd defending from Alfie Van Zyl. This is over 14th place. Oh, Van Zyl gets it all sideways.
I think I've got like excess damage on my monitor because I'm looking at the stream and the Nissan doesn't look too bad. And on my screen, it's basically got no paint left on it.
Okay, well.
Yeah, so it's had a few scrapes.
Maybe running a bit more detail in the damage there, maybe.
Maybe exaggerated damage, yeah.
Yeah, because I've turned it down a bit. For the sake of the stream.
Should have white bumpers and they're looking pretty scraped. It's a common theme for this evening, though, isn't it? People get up nice and tight, close behind, and then struggle to pass.
Yeah.
Doesn't help when you're going wide like that, obviously.
Well,
But
there's the element of sort of dirty air coming from the car in front. I mean, the GT3 cars doing quite a bit of error, so it could be affecting the cars through the faster corners.
yeah, there's nowhere long enough to get a real drag either, is there? So it's yeah, you've got to pass them on merit, and that's difficult unless you've got a real pace advantage. I mean, we're talking you need a second a lap advantage to get a pass. Half a second wasn't enough for Langeveld for half the race, and now he's passed. He's pulling a gap.
Yeah, I was chatting to Calvin and Linda about that, and he said you'll be surprised how much sort of aerodynamically dependent the cars are, the GT3 cars, and how it does really affect them. It is a real thing. Yeah.
Yeah, much more than you think it would be just looking at them. The problem is we've also seen some quite desperate lunges where you get impatient behind and try and force it. Run especially into the chicanes, just running late on the brakes. Not the answer. So Lish is about as tight as he's been. 2 tenths behind Claessens.
Look here he comes. The fan out into the chicane. Hairpin.
I think Claessens realises all he needs to do is protect the inside on these 2 hairpins, and that's job done.
Hodgson's starting to get involved too.
Yeah, he's managed to claw his way back.
Is for 8th position.
Getting up the inside on those hairpins is definitely where Lish has got his best chance, but Claessens is wise to it and always quick to cover that inside line. Yeah, Hodson's been pulled right back into this battle now.
Good fight there developing between Stern and Oliphant too for 6th position. The gap was down to 0.2 of a second a couple of corners ago.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be at the hairpins.
She's got a good drive now out of the corner.
Stern is just trying to hold on to places that he gained in the first stint on the mediums. He's lost all his pace on the mediums. He was fighting Stain, in fact was ahead of him, and now there's a 12-second gap. So tyre change has kept his positions, but certainly he struggled for pace on the harder tyre.
They're battling to get the power down under the slow corners.
Yeah, he probably wants to try and run a wide line on the first hairpin to really get an exit, and then try and get that inside line into the final corner. Oliphant down, yeah, also 0.2, very, very close. Less than 0.2. Starting to hound the back of that BMW. Obviously, he's still on the soft tyre. So he might be quick now, but he's got to hold on to this place if he makes it past in the later laps.
And Timothy Haynes coming back at Hugo de Witt too for 11th.
I was just about to say that. We've got 3 drivers all struggling to get past. We've got Lisher, Oliphant and Haynes. All get within that 0.3 window, but have been there for a while. And Van Sale also on Boy is within the 0.3 window. I think we might need some sprinklers to liven this race up a bit now. ACC, possibly we could do that. I always thought Formula One. Bernie Eccleston, he missed a trick there. We could have made so much money in SMS rates. We're all texting in, voting for the sprinklers to be turned on.
I think that's what he wanted to do. Was to introduce sprinklers.
It would have been the one thing I'd sign up for.
Sorry to go there, pour a card.
Just for half a lap. Oliphant's right at 1/10. He's got to be close to a pass. Less than a 10th.
These two got Jim Clark wanting to get past 2, of course. Timothy
Clark won't want to be getting involved with too much of a
Haynes
battle.
Is going to blast by, and I think Haynes is going to try and follow him through. Let's see what happens.
Oliphant's got Sterner.
Yeah.
And Claessen's and Lisher have traded places.
Vansel's got Boy too.
Everyone makes a pass at exactly the same time, just when we're waiting for it. Yeah.
Of course.
So I saw Claessen's and Lisser traded places and must have traded back because they're still in the positions that they were previously.
Yeah.
So it was a failed pass or a pass and then a cut straight back that we missed.
Vansel's got Boy as well. That's for 14th. Kishina. Oh, so close. Much better drive than Claessen's that way. Looking for the inside line now.
Hodson's just waiting for the accident. So he made a pass on the previous lap which we missed. So we'll be looking whether he's trying to repeat that. Sterner and Oliphant have swapped places back again. So Oliphant maybe made a mistake, and then it's back again. So they're trading blows as well on the hairpins. It's all coming together in the last 5 laps here in Donington.
Stern up the inside. Oliphant's wise to it. Oliphant seems to have cemented that 6th position now. With 5 laps remaining.
Yeah, maybe he made a mistake to let Sterner back. But as I said, he's on the soft, so he's really going to struggle in these last 5 laps. They must be feeling pretty used right now. So Sterner may still have an opportunity to come back in the last couple of laps. Boy and Govern to swap places.
Contacts.
Yeah, I think Oliphant must have made a mistake. Cause, I mean, he's this second time he's pulled a quite a healthy lead straight away. So it's Haynes and DeVitt and Lisher and Clarkson still basically stuck in their positions, isn't it? And Nick's following as well. Lisher will be well aware that the laps are running out, so he'll be probably pushing a little bit harder than he would before. So you start to get a few desperate lunges towards the end. Has to be said with the Langenfeld and Heineke, I mean, that pass was a good 10 laps ago, and it's only a gap of 2.4 seconds, so they were incredibly close for a reason.
Sure. Contact.
A bit of contacts, yeah. Little tap to remind him he's there. I'm pretty sure he'll be aware. My screen's still showing the front end damage on Lisher, specifically to his bonnet, so he maybe didn't repair body damage in the pit stops, which would be surprising because usually it has to be pretty horrific for it not to repair quicker than a tyre change.
Okay, yeah.
He obviously didn't feel like it was affecting his car in any way, otherwise you would definitely take that opportunity.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just forgot. It happened so early in the race, 30 laps on, you forget.
Haynes has got DeVitt for 11th. Oh, Haynes did a spin, in fact. Around he goes. Dangerous Sparks going to slip by, will he? Yes, he will. So
It'll be a race to forget for Haynes, unfortunately, this race.
Back to the Carson's Lishan Hodgson battle. Oh, mistake there from Hodgson. It's running a bit too much curb.
So whatever happens, Clarkson's definitely been quite a winner in this race from his original starting position. Oliphant as well. Consistency has got them places. And Sterner. It's been a story of some mistakes at the start that's cost some of our regular front runners to be racing a lot further back than they usually would. Only 2 laps to go. Clarkson's looking quite comfortable for his place at the moment. Seems to have Lisher covered. Lisher's now under more pressure than he's putting from Hodgson behind. Difficult to attack when you're also being attacked from behind. Sort of puts you off a little bit.
Yeah.
Can't experiment with lines, can you? Because you open the door for a dive bomb from Hodgson behind. So they might very well finish in this little train that they formed for themselves in the next 2 laps. We'll see.
These 3 have got race leader Jim Clark. Must upon them.
Clark's keen to get finished. His dinner's waiting in the microwave. Yeah, once again, we have to acknowledge Clark's immense driving there, haven't we? A 30-second gap or a 27.5-second gap in 60 laps at Donington. Very, very impressive.
It's amazing. He's threatening to lap up till what is that? That is 8th position.
Yeah, very, very good. Something that we can all learn from. If you're lucky enough to be in the same practice servers assigned to him, make sure you do some spectating. Maybe you should share him around, Jason. I hope you move him about the practice servers. Let everyone have a chance.
Yeah. These 3 very close together now.
Yeah, this is destined to finish in its train, but there's going to be some final lunges. I think Nick's trying a bit hard there. There was never a move on.
The tyres letting go too.
I think we're destined to finish this way unless a real push move's made, which could end in tears. It's a testament to the pace of Division 1 that they can run this close together for so long. Small differences can make, small mistakes make all the difference rather than outright pace. Because they're matching each other blow for blow. This is Lish's last attempt now, isn't it?
Let's hug the back of that Audi.
He's got one more opportunity into the last hairpin. Clarkson's got a much better exit though.
So in fact on the final lap of the race, Clark is behind them anyway. These 3 will have another lap after this one, I think. Mistake there. Here we go.
This could cost Clarkson's. He's got finally Lisher's got the inside line. If he holds it, it's his place.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be losing to Nick. No, he should keep Nick covered if he keeps that inside line. But the mistake cost Clarkson's there. Yeah. He'll be upset with that. He held on for so long. Made a mistake on the final lap.
But Jim Clark comes through to take victory at Donington, flashing his lights in celebration. And
yeah, brilliant drive. Well done to Jim
Clark. Amazing drive. Let's go back to this battle now. We want to watch and see what happens now. Jadwat will come through to finish in 2nd position, 27 seconds behind him.
Yeah, also fantastic drive from Jadwat. We didn't see much of him at all, to be honest. There was no need to. He had that position nailed on from the start, didn't he? If he didn't get a pass done in lap 1, it probably wasn't going to happen. No. But very, very good finish for 2nd place.
Langerfeld will get a well-deserved 3rd position.
So we've still got this battle for right at the end that could go Lisher, Clarkson's, Hodgson.
So Lisher's through.
He's trying to hold that place.
Yeah.
Nick could be getting a bit desperate here. He's got not a lot to lose.
Chris Heineker's got 4th position for Grossworks. Marcus Stand finished in 5th position. Great drive.
Hodgson can't lose a place at all, can he? Everyone else is finished, so...
That's right.
Dive bombs coming up. Oh! Claessen's gone off.
Where's Claessen's? Disappeared. Oh, he's gone off, yeah.
Oh, what a
last lap drama there for Claessen's.
So he made a mistake to let Lisher through, and then unfortunately on the last lap, another mistake to let Hodgson through.
Yeah. So Lefan gets 6th, Sterner 7th, Lisher 8th, and Nick Hodgson gets 9th position. Quake Claessen's rounds up the top 10.
Yeah, good fights throughout that race, though. Very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. And that concludes round 3, the Division 1 race, of course, this evening. But we do have the Division 2 and 3 races on Wednesday evening. And if you're watching this and you want to get involved in the racing, we'll visit our website at simracesa.co.za. Click on the Esports Leagues tab, and you will find a sign-up form there. Submit that. That'll come through to me via email, and I'll respond as soon as I can. And you could be racing on Wednesday evening with us. So do that if you're keen for that. Well, Daniel, thank you very much for joining me. It's been a fantastic race.
Yeah, pleasure. Look forward to the next one as always. Really good. Thanks ever so much for the entertainment.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's the simGT race. All the best until then. Cheers for now. Bye-bye.
Cool, thanks Jason. I'll catch you later.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. And cool, man. Cheers.
No worries. Cheers, mate. Go well.